All right, welcome to Tennis Sucks. I'm just going to keep calling it Tennis Sucks for now. One day.
It's still fucking.
Graham was responsible for getting this new logo made.
I talked to the guy this week, and he was at Minor League commentating.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I would have... He was in the booth with me, maybe?
Could be.
Damn.
Jay?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's the guy.
That was Jay.
Get on Jay.
Damn.
Back of the rack time.
All right, well, we need that new logo, and then we can officially retire Tennis Sucks. But for now, Tennis...
People loves Tennis Sucks. I got yelled at half a dozen times at Beer City.
Really?
Hey, Graham.
People do enjoy it.
Tennis Sucks.
Well, if everyone wants to collectively contribute money to pay for the podcast, we could keep it as Tennis Sucks, I guess. But until then, no business wants to sponsor a podcast called Tennis Sucks.
Just $1 per month can save 3.
Graham gets his wings.
3 really bad podcasters.
Oh, man. Well, I do have something to show you guys. This is an exciting development for me.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Could it be any bigger?
Wow.
Is that the turnover medal?
This is my minor league win. My
Wow.
So wait,
my medal.
everybody got one of those?
Yeah, there was 4 winners in the team.
That's amazing. I'm actually really jealous.
That's David
of that.
Tab. All for the pickleball. He hooks it up.
David Tab's smart.
I'm the Flavor
With the
Flav
Flavor
of
Flav
Crescent
chain,
Lake
yeah.
right now. Yeah, boy. So, yeah, you guys could hold it if you want. You know,
I don't even know if I can
it's
lift that up.
heavy. Yeah, look at that. How does that compare to PPA?
I've honestly never kept one.
Oh, really?
Never.
Damn.
Never once.
I could auction this off.
What do you think that cost them? What was your entry fee?
Not that I have a lot.
It was $100, I think. It all went on those medals.
I believe that's $3.99.
Alibaba. Sheen.
All right.
But they're pretty cool.
That's too
I'd probably
funny.
keep that one.
Yeah.
Some good competition. You should be proud of that win.
Yeah,
I know
should be
some of the
proud.
teams that played and they got
Yes.
smoked.
We did. Yeah, we did really well.
Luke's
Shout out
a full
to...
half duper better since he switched to the proton.
You're right.
I mean,
That's
he
it.
won how many points against us today? A lot.
Yeah.
5 or
Usually-
6.
Usually it's
Pickle.
less.
Yeah, it's usually pickle. So yeah, dramatic improvements in switching to proton.
Thank you.
And Graham, I heard that you were keeping it hot this weekend in Beer City.
I did?
Yeah, you and
I mean, you and all I heard was that you and Clay Calhoun Carson were just dominating the rec courts at Belknap Park.
Oh, yeah. We dominate. We did. We didn't lose. In fact, they had to come and take us off and tell us there's a 3 win in a row only.
what?
They
Were
were
these public courts?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess a lot of courts are like that. They don't just let you keep challenging. Once you win too many times, they yank you off.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't
They
know
do
that
in New York,
I don't know
too.
that I'm bragging about that. Winning rec play in
Hey,
Michigan.
wins a win. That's what I was taught when I was
Wins,
young.
yeah,
Wins a win.
exactly.
We had fun. We had a lot of
Well,
fun.
how
We had a
good
lot
was
of
the
fun people
competition?
too.
Was it good high competition?
No. Not that they don't have good competition there. It was average. It was like a 4-0 level. It was okay.
Okay.
But Carson's a good player,
He is.
even when he's high. And
Well, he's good all
and
the
I was playing fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Was he there cheering the smash on all weekend?
Yes, he
He had
was.
some
He's
fans. That's
great.
good.
I really do enjoy him.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's
He's
awesome.
uniquely himself and unapologetically.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I guess the biggest topic of this week, which I feel like got the whole pickleball community in a whole frenzy, was the line call in your match against California Black Bears, right?
Yeah, what was your take, Luke? Do you think that the aftermath of that was warranted, or do you think the way that I went about it was unfair?
I think that everyone that I saw felt like your take was exactly what they were thinking, and that like I feel like everyone has had so many instances where those types of line calls have happened, but this was so egregious that people are just so baffled at like, how are we at this point in the sport?
Well, I think even more so because it's like if it happens during a match where there's not a sideline of people watching
Yeah.
that are having a vested interest in it, it's like, okay, well, maybe they missed the call independently.
Yeah.
But when you have that many people watching, it's just hard to have a lot of sympathy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nobody saw it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just a hard one to believe.
Are you going to put a clip of this line call in
Sure.
the pod so people
Yeah.
can see
I'll
how bad it
overlay
is?
it right now so people can see. But I mean, there's plenty of times in MLP matches where the players look to their team and they are like, I think that was out, and the team says, no, it was good.
100%.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So
And there's actually a rule. I don't think, like, per the rule recently, unless they've changed it, you're not supposed to get calls from the sideline at all. You're supposed to make your call independently and then let the refs determine.
well,
Either
I
way,
mean,
yes.
this was
Usually there's
bad.
there's someone on the side who will keep things in check.
So how does this, I mean, I felt like
You had to snack again in the middle of the pod.
It's okay. Let him do. Let him. What's wrong? He's been playing for fucking 3 hours. You guys,
you want me to pass out?
he's playing fantastic. Dude, you're talking about a minor league fucking champion, okay? This guy rides canoes in Michigan around moats through. So don't disrespect him, okay?
What
Thanks
goes
for
through your
letting
mind?
me know where he is half
Are you
the
like,
time.
all right, let's head to pod. I have a little snacky in my pocket.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes in, I'm not going to make it the full half hour. I'm going to bust that open and get some nutrients. Is that what goes through your
It
head?
keeps my mind sharp. Yeah.
We need his mind sharp.
Yeah.
What
We need it sharp.
Do you ever get like the snoozies at the end of the thing? Like, oh, I should have waited a little longer. I'm starting to get a little tired halfway through the pod.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. That's when I get my boba tea right after the pug to back up, get that
It's left
caffeine,
late for
that
boba.
caffeine high.
Enjoy that protein
Thank
bar,
you,
that
yeah.
Cliff bar.
It's good. It's macadamia nut.
Yeah, I'll say this really quick. Like my primary objective wasn't like to shit on anybody, although I felt like that was warranted. My primary objective is just to hopefully get to that point, and I've said this for a long time, like where the calls are automated. I don't think you should be asking anybody. I don't think the refs should be making a last second decision. But just where it gets to a point where it's like in, out, next
Yeah.
point. You know, and I hope we're moving towards that. It's very hard when you have players making calls.
Yeah.
And
My least favorite part of it, or most interesting part to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there reasons for why there was a bad call made. First one I heard was,
yeah,
I
wasn't good.
didn't call it out. And then we're like, okay, well, the video shows you putting your finger in the air. We consider that an out call. Second was,
I didn't see it.
I didn't turn fast enough, and I saw the second bounce.
The second bounce was
Called
crazy
it out,
because the
so-
second bounce actually went into the back fence.
It hit someone in the
So-
leg.
Well, no, it went back fence.
Yeah.
It might have hit something like that, but there wasn't a second bounce.
There wasn't a second bounce.
It didn't exist. You know, and then that was contested with
More video
no,
evidence.
with basically like, well, it's skidded. It's like, well, no ball skids that way. We all know this. Where it doesn't like go, you know, it doesn't work like that. And then
Yeah.
the one was like, well, our heads are facing this way, so we couldn't see the ball. And then my contestant as Luke, tell me where I'm looking right now.
Yeah. Behind you.
I'm looking over there, but
Yeah.
nobody knows because when you follow a ball very fast, you don't follow with your head like this. You
Yeah.
follow with your eyes. Your
Yeah.
eyes track it first, and then your head kind of follows.
Yeah.
So they were all just, and that's where I had a tough time. Like, look, it is what it is. People get excited and they make bad calls, and I don't want to make too much of it. But the reality is, like, if you fuck up and you got excited and you made a bad call, just say, I fucked up. I made a bad call. I got excited and I fucking cheated. Okay,
Yeah.
we move on. You know, like I get it, no problem. But as soon as you come in to any conversation where you're gonna spew bullshit,
Yeah.
and Graham kind of knows this about me, like, I'd rather have you be a fucking asshole
Same.
than just call it straight. Just say fucking what happened, and we're good. But instead, you got to kind of weasel around it, and then
Yeah, that's the part that
and
I
then
think really got me.
I don't respect that shit.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you spoken to? Was there other players that reached out and said like, "This is crazy," like, you know, this is like,
I mean, I had conversations with a few, and we'll just leave it at that.
okay, yeah. But as of right now, it was who was on the court? Michelle and
Michelle and Rafa were playing
Rafa.
against Yates and Tammy.
none of them have reached out since or like come out publicly.
No,
and said
Michelle
anything?
apologized. She was
Okay.
very, very apologetic.
Okay. So at this point, it's less about that one individual instance, but just like how the fuck as a game do we move forward? And
Yeah, that's really, and again, like that's my primary objective with all of it is hopefully, because you know it's obviously pickleball is getting bigger. It's getting bigger and bigger, and we want it to continue to grow. And you can't have things like that take place in, you know, arguably one of the biggest tournaments of the year.
Yeah.
And at a critical juncture, especially again if you're going to ever have gambling involved. If you have
Right.
a guy that's gambling and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, it just discredits the sport. And,
Sure.
I think the social pressure will help keep line calls more fair.
Oh, I think it does. Honestly,
Like this one?
Dion joked about that when we played Frisco. She was like, they wouldn't call them.
No,
They were terrified.
they were scared. In
They were
fact,
scared.
I think didn't I even? Oh no, that was in another match against the Hard Eights. I
And
yelled.
none of those people are even close to known for bad calls. So
Right.
let's just start with that on Frisco.
They're just
like,
fearful to call things
but
that were actually
Alverne,
out.
I've seen Stefan like actually call balls out, and he's always been very, very fair. But yes, I think it does put a precedent. Like, don't fucking do this in a public forum because we will out you.
Yeah, and that helps. That's gonna keep a lot of people from making bad calls.
I think so too.
So we
And
got
I'm
that
okay
going
with
for
being
us.
the asshole. Like, I'm okay with that as long as it's like the truthful asshole. I'm good with that title. No problem. You
I have
can
a
call
question.
my methods over the top. You can say that I'm
You
fucking
mean
care.
where you were screaming cheater at the top of your lungs over and over again?
Was I wrong?
No, but
Okay. Had I been disrespectful for 1 second before then.
No, you were great, but
Right.
man, you were fired up.
Oh, I was fucking pissed.
Because he had his own area
Because
after
Graham,
that.
I knew watching it, it was like, that is the worst call I've seen
Yeah.
ever. And then beyond that, the demonstrative behavior that followed it. It was
like how
guys,
excited they are. Or
what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, have some class.
It's like they leaned into
please.
it. It's like they leaned into the cheating.
They doubled down.
Yeah, they doubled down.
Yeah. Those bad line calls. I've heard there's a precedent from tennis players that like that it's a problem within tennis too. Probably not at the professional level, but like players calling their own lines are pretty
yeah.
Like
bad.
at a college level,
College
and high
level's
school.
insane.
Yeah.
Like it's great. College level, junior tennis, the calls are mind blowing. And people have said that to me. Like, did you have these problems in your tennis career? I was like, no, because we never called a fucking line. We never called one. Like, you might not like somebody, but it wasn't for the reason that they cheated you, because you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You never had any say on what the outcome was in terms of those things.
I was just curious whether or not the tennis people coming over to pickleball might have some level of precedent when it comes to that kind of line calling versus people that pick up pickleball fresh, you know?
Maybe college level. Because I hear it is rampant in college level.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really, really bad.
Like they'll call balls that are 2 feet in out just to
and there are
get
some
in someone's
coaches,
head.
There are some coaches that are literally like urging their kids, if it's close, call it out. Like, people unfortunately have that character.
What has Zane said on this? Because I feel like Zane has been kind of like testing the system a little bit by saying like, yeah, call things out.
Call
like, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Well, he's just basically, what he's saying, which I think is fair, and I think this is the best thing that we could do, is like, if there's no repercussions, then what incentive do you have to not cheat other than like public shaming? And if you don't care about public shaming, then there's really nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's what he's saying, is like, until there's, you know, one of our organizations or put something in place where it's like, hey, if you cheat 3 times or whatever, and you're overruled, then you get fined $5,000. Like, whatever it is, you know, I don't know what it is. And that's probably too much.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, there has to be some deterrent.
Sure. Yeah.
The repercussions are you're happy with your win. Like,
yeah, but
you and I can never win like that and enjoy the win.
But people don't care. I'm telling you, they don't care.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
people that really just don't care.
Yeah. How does it affect your mindset? Like, that was it 17-17 when that bad call was made? Obviously, all you can think about at that point is, you know, screw these guys.
For 24 hours.
Yeah. Like, how do you try to ignore that, block that out? Do you use that and try and turn it into something?
I didn't think about it much during. Like, they played better in the Dream Breaker. They deserved to win the Dream Breaker. Rafa beat me up. He played great in the Dream Breaker. Passed me a bunch. But, you know, yeah, it's an unfortunate outcome because it ended up very, very close. I want to say they were at 24-24, 25-25. You know, so you never know the outcome, and that's kind of the sad part. You just don't know how it would have gone otherwise.
Yeah. But
do I think about it at the moment? No. I move on from it. Am I pissed? Sure. But does it affect my play? Not personally.
Right.
Maybe others, but not mine.
So just a recap then of the MLP outcomes. You played the Bay Area Breakers first, right?
Yeah.
And got the win.
No, that wasn't Bay Area. We played the Black Bears first. That was the first match.
That was the first match.
Okay.
We lost to them with that line call.
Yep. Then we played Frisco Pandas. We beat them.
Right.
And then we lost to the Hard Eights 3-1.
Oh, right. The Hard Eights.
Which was a good match. I mean, Yates and I think were up 23-21 on Manthau and Lang, and they came up with some good shots. And I played 2 poor points down the stretch. And that's the way it goes.
Yeah. But you feel you played a lot more, significantly better this time than you did in DC. So
yeah, no, I told Grant, he could tell right away. I think it was very, very normal. I was used to the paddle. I had the paddle broken in, so it was coming off. And I looked at Grant after game 1. I was like, I'm not going to suck.
It was
awesome. Like, I'm not going to lose to guys that I lost to in DC, which there were some really, really, really bad players that I lost to in DC that, you know, honestly should never get past 15. And, you know, they get the W, but as I said to them, everybody beat me that week. Like everybody, nobody, I could. So yeah, I was normal again. I was happy with the turnaround essentially, and happy that, you know, I'm used to the paddle. It's coming off nicely. It's spinning nicely. The power's good. The counter's good. It's all good.
So what's next? What changes does the Smash need to make then going forward? I mean, are the players gelling well? Like, what's the game plan?
The game plan is to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, you know, there's a waiver period coming up, so you're always going to look at your options, but the plan is to hopefully keep practicing, keep getting better, keep building that team chemistry, and go get some more wins next event.
I think we've had a lot of positives, and I think the sad part is like the girls and the other players played really well in DC, and I was the problem. I played so bad, and we just haven't had a period yet where it's like all 4 players or even 3 of the 4 have played well at the same time.
Yeah.
So we're having like this really fragmented performance.
Right.
And then, we just need everyone to kind of gel and click and play well together.
Yeah.
And then I think we're a very formidable team. But at the moment, that just hasn't taken place.
Yeah. There were a lot of new faces in this mid-season event after the waivers too, right? Like Susanna Barr came in.
She didn't play.
She didn't play.
But yeah, so like, I mean,
Yana Newell's a great example.
Yana
She
Newell's a
played
great
us.
example.
She was in the hard 8s and played against us, and
She was awesome.
she ate us up.
Yeah.
She ate us up in women's and really ate us up in mixed. Just has that shot behind the 8s that he just could not find an answer for.
Just remember, she's so explosive too in terms of just athleticism. Like there was a couple of balls she slid to that she got to. It was like, and then she's using that new paddle tech paddle, which I would say is probably the closest thing to the previous Yola that we have. It's very powerful, very spinny. So she's hitting the ball huge, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
But no, those women that got upgrades, they were upgrades.
Yeah.
All the teams that had them, like Miami's a great example. Bobby and Milan, awesome.
Well, I mean, Chicago put Fudge on, and did they only have one woman change Fudge for somebody else?
Yes, I think so. They didn't have a guy change. I think just Megan Fudge.
Okay.
Why they didn't have the results with her?
They didn't have the results.
Oh. Well, most of the changes.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
The Bobby change, the Yana change.
Yeah. I mean, Bobby's a great player, man.
I love watching her play.
Yeah, I like
one of my
watching her play
favorite females.
too. She's very graceful on the court. I like it.
And they
Great
both play
technique.
the Yolas, her and Milan. So it's
Exactly.
like that's an unstoppable female team right there.
Well, I mean, if you look at it too, like the women who are particularly solid or dominant in the challenger level in particular are all that. Like whether it's what's the girl's name that plays for Vegas, Chao Yang, or
oh yeah,
like
Zoe.
she plays with Zoe Yang. She plays with the Yola, and she's infinitely better because of it. Like she can literally counter like a dude, So it's like there's a lot of force behind that.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I look at players, I'm like, okay, 2 of them use the Yola. Shit. All right.
I do too. I look at the team and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah,
two
two
Yolas, 2 paddle techs. We're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah, I mean, so when did the paddle tech? When did they release this one? Is this a new Anna Lee one or something that they
Anna Lee
released?
and a new Christian Alshon one, and they're very, very good. Like Yates is using
Yates is using it.
He's hitting the ball amazing. The ball's coming off with a lot of juice, a lot of action.
Yep.
And it's obviously a quality product.
And they're fully approved, and they're not. You don't think they're overpowered like the Gen 3s?
I think they are, but I think we're still in that. I think we're in a free for all year still, where it's like almost anything is going to go, and I think there will be a lot of changes come 2025.
Yeah, makes sense. So overall, you guys like the event? This is Koopy's event, right?
My favorite event.
They did I mean, I said this she probably got annoyed with me, Coop, but she does such a good job. I probably wrote her 5 times. Like I have so much envy for what you've done, like what you've done for your community, what you've done for pickleball in general, what you've done for this. Like she's fucking crushing it, man. And the way that the community rallies behind the event, the crowds were great. The way they treat the players is fantastic. She got the majority of us rooms at the Amway for doing like a lesson or 2 with kids or with a couple of adults. Like, it was fucking awesome.
Nice.
And so we all felt like, we were at like a really cool, well-run event with great sponsors. And they do an unbelievable job.
That's
and
awesome.
Tropical on the mic, MCing.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. He's hilarious.
That's awesome. He's a great MC.
The way he introduces people that come on the court.
Yeah.
Just crushes
I
me.
saw he said that Georgia Johnson was the second best player in the Johnson household.
JW is the third best. Julie loved that.
That's amazing.
Just
So
stuff
good.
like that is great.
Yeah. That's dope. So, did you watch any of the premiere matches? Like,
I watched quite a few,
any highlights you guys want to shout out on those ones?
I did not predict the winners. Did you?
No.
I thought
didn't.
Ranchers and Shock were the 2 I think I picked in the bracket. Ranchers got to the
They got third.
Yep. So I was
And
close there.
Shock were in the semis and then lost back to back.
Right.
But I think that they're still the best team if you ask me.
I thought DC, I didn't expect them to do what they did. DC's playing great.
Yeah, I don't think that's too surprising. I mean, Rachel's great, and then they switched out Elise Jones for Vivian Glosman, who, again, Yola player, has been playing great. She's super powerful.
I also think that she plays better with Rachel because they both have that kind of like move forward attack mentality.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're both pressuring, which is...
And then in mix in particular, like she makes it easier for the guy because she's creating offense. She's legitimately setting up the guy. She's not just playing like neutral passive.
Yeah.
She's aggressive. She showed that when she played with Hayden in San Clemente. I think they made final, maybe? Semi? They made semi. But she's really kind of showcased that she's a very, very solid player.
The matches were awesome.
Yep.
The crowd was incredible. If you saw on like Saturday and Sunday, both grandstand and championship court were packed.
Yeah.
They need another stand for next year, I think, to probably accommodate.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's at least, I don't know, there's thousands of people watching at one time
Tons.
on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
Sweet.
Easy.
It was really cool.
And the amateur event people are obsessed with. They're into it. The amateurs, they are diehard fans in
No
Grand
doubt.
City, Michigan.
Dude, I had like quite a few people come up to me with my little Leaf trading card.
Right.
Oh, nice.
One guy sent me a couple. He was like, "Do you want
hell
these?" And I was
yeah.
like, "Hey, shout out to Goat Pickleball GOAT. They sent me 3 of my cards." So I was like,
Nice.
I owe you guys. Thank you.
That's so
pretty
funny.
cool.
So in terms of people dominating, Anna Lee, obviously just absolutely dominating.
Yeah.
Got her
Unstoppable.
first like MLP win,
Sure.
which she was overly excited about.
She should be.
Yeah, she wanted that. She's been wanting that for a long time.
Yeah.
Sure. I think it's interesting because I honestly think there's like so many schools of thought now in how you draft, and the way that they've drafted is unconventional but smart. It's like I think Zane and Will have maybe been the worst men's doubles team so far. I think Zane and Mari have won maybe once or twice total. But they did beat the Johnsons, which is a huge win. But Anna Lee has not lost a match.
Yeah.
And then in the Dream Breakers with Will, who's awesome in singles, and Zane, who's obviously awesome in singles, Mari's good in singles, they win every Dream Breaker.
Yeah.
They're like 8-0. I think they've won every single match in a
So
Dream Breaker.
it's like if Anna Lee's unbeatable,
Correct.
they just go to Dream Breakers every time and they
Correct.
just win.
So even if the men, who I legitimately like, they got smoked in the semi, smoked in the final, like rushed, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. And then Zane is obviously very good in mixed. Mari's very capable when she's hot. She's a little up and down, but her game is very high risk. And if she's good, she's really good.
Yeah.
And so, if they get hot for a minute, then they're basically unbeatable. And if they get to a Dream Breaker, well, fuck, that's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
Because Will can play with anybody. Zane can play with anybody. Annalie's obviously the best female by far. That's a hard Dream Breaker team to beat. So it's like they're almost like forfeiting matches in a way, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's kind of wild. Just have a complete, like, robust backup, like in the Dream Breaker, and just be like, all right, well.
And hey, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good
Zane knows
strategy.
how to win MLP.
Fucking A, he does. He actually
That's
closed
so
it out.
true. Yeah.
He closed it out. He played a sick point at 2018 to win it against James.
I'd like to also mention I closed out a Dream Breaker in my minor league.
I saw it. I think I
You saw
witnessed
it?
it. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
There was just some crazy points, man. I was all over the place. I felt like Zane Navratil.
Are you sure that you actually won minor league pickleball?
He was still in the canoe.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
I witnessed it. Unless I was
Of
also
course, of
hallucinating.
course.
Yeah, it could
I
have
saw
been.
the pictures.
Luke
4
did
people.
Luke did
They
play
were all
great.
there. Ashley.
Yeah,
There.
shout out to Ashley,
Yeah.
Zach, and Cassie, and Anton, who was our coach throughout the whole thing.
Coach
Oh, they had a
Anton.
coach. They had a coach in the
That's
minor
why.
league. Duper 16.
Smart.
Duper 18?
16.
Super
18's this weekend, so
That's-
like, let's check back next weekend.
Still a great win. Everyone was better than a Duper 16 in
That's
my
true.
opinion.
The
I
teams were
was
pretty
watching.
stacked. All right, so we did some highlights. Let's talk about the people that did not perform so well. What's going on with Ben and Colin?
Ooh,
They
interesting
just
one, right?
cannot win.
They're just not winning. I think their team went 0 for 2, I believe. I don't think they won a match. And I think Ben and Colin lost both, as I recall. So yeah, I think the last time they won a tournament was March or April. That sound right? April?
Yeah, it was
think
a
it's
lot. It was a
March or
while ago.
April.
Yeah.
So it's definitely the longest slump they've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Like confidence goes a long way. Obviously, maybe they're struggling a little bit with that. And the format's tough because it's fast, and
Yeah.
it kind of heightens whether you're confident or not.
Yeah.
So that's been an interesting one. I think the other one is like Riley and Connor Garnett have not performed well at all.
Right.
They've really struggled, and I think they're struggling with like who plays right, who plays left,
Sure.
who goes where, and that's interesting because you can put 2 really quality players together, and it's always
It's not
how they
working.
mesh.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been fascinating to me.
What if Ben and Riley ever paired up? Would that be weird? Would that work?
Fuck, I think they'd be insane, but I don't think that will ever happen. They're both very alpha dog mentality. I
Yeah.
believe.
They wouldn't
that's
want
a
to
hard
share
one.
that. Interesting.
Yeah, their games would be fine. It's their
Yeah,
personalities that might
personalities
clash.
might
Yeah.
And then Kwong Duong just was awesome all week.
Yeah.
He played great. So he's
Speaking of which, I watched.
Oh.
I watched Kwong Dong. I sent you some video.
Yep. The man himself.
I watched Kwong Dong's dad train him for like an hour. And I got
How
a
was
lot
it?
of good pointers for
so
you.
you're ready.
I'm ready.
You're gonna go
Yeah.
out there, you're gonna go.
I'm not kidding. I learned 2 or 3 good tricks
You
from
gonna get
him.
the gearbox then and do it? 'Cause
That's the other trick he has.
Yes.
He hits
'Cause
the
can get power.
gearbox. He gets power.
Right.
So he's brilliant. This guy's a brilliant trainer.
There's no
Damn.
doubt. He's focused.
And he's training the younger son now too, who's getting good.
Oh man,
And
it's
I
gonna
think
be
he
game
fa-
over.
I think he
Dog
favors the younger son.
Interesting.
Because every time the younger son hits a winner on
The dad goes nuts.
Kwong, the dad's like, he smiles. He gets happy.
So Avatar Ballbender is gonna have the younger brother. That's the what? What's his
I don't know his
Like
name
the-
yet.
cartoon
That would be cool.
anime bender?
Yeah, there's other Avatar like factions. He could be like the Fire Nation.
What's his name? Do you know his name, the son?
Bao
The younger
Kwong.
son?
No, I
Bao.
don't.
It's Bao.
Bao.
That's right.
Bao.
Bao.
That's awesome. So yeah, so you're gonna level up your training game now. Get the
No,
maybe
I
get the
did.
vice
I
paddle.
wrote some
and-
notes actually about it. I'm definitely gonna use
That's
them
great.
next time we
So-
train.
So let's get that going. This
But it's
week.
intense. He works him hard.
I'm sure he does.
Makes him go, 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 go.
Yeah, he's a. I mean, that's obvious. Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's great. Wow.
I'm gonna
Okay,
need you
good.
to- I'm gonna need you up. I like that. Let's up your game. Let's go. You've always
He's-
wanted to be Coach more.
He stands at the net, which is another trick of his.
like right up.
Right at it.
So it's fast.
Even on dinks.
Yeah.
So like if you're dinking me cross court, I'm at the net volleying a dink down at you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
With the gearbox.
Oh,
Just
Jesus. That's intense. Yeah, that's some intense
Well,
drilling
it's
right there.
working because fucking Kwong is getting
Oh,
good in
he's-
every discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like so interesting and fun to watch. Like he's just
Very
so
sweet kid,
methodical.
too, man. Like he's actually really nice,
Yeah.
really humble.
I got a real kick out of seeing that after one of his wins, they like charged and like picked him up. I don't know who it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
They picked him up and spun him around. And I was like, that's
I didn't see
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
he was a big fan of our photo shoot, Kwong Dong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, loved it. He loved it. Loved it, guys.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
He's like, I knew I recognized you. The JC Penny shoot.
Yeah.
I like you guys.
How do we get Kwong on the pod? Let's get him
Oh,
on
yeah.
and get the dad on
Finally
here.
get
Let's
that
get
going.
all of them on. All right. So you made a note here that we could potentially be replacing a ball with a
Yeah,
felt
this
ball.
is really interesting.
Yeah, tell us
so
about
a
that.
guy approached me and he said, "Would you try this for me?" And it was like, "Sure." And it was like this weaved, almost looked like some sort of fabric, certainly circular, but it definitely had like some little undulations in the circle. And apparently the USAPA just approved that ball, and they're trying to get rid of the wiffle ball to get rid of bad bounces, get rid of inconsistencies in the ball. And I hit with it for a few minutes. It's obviously, their first iteration, but it was interesting. It was like, okay,
Is it
We're going
similar
towards,
to
like, this
that pressureless basketball?
not familiar with that, but
You haven't seen that? It's like $2,000. Have you seen that?
No.
They now make a basketball that has
yeah.
holes. It has no, but it bounces
looks
identical
like
to a
a- yeah.
basketball.
Oh, well, this does not bounce identical. It plays very different.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a foam, very light ball. There's no feel on it yet, but and they'll adjust it. But it's interesting that they're trying to make those adjustments because I think it is warranted. Like
Yeah.
I think at some point you have to get away from a wiffle ball.
It's interesting. Yeah. Have you played with the librarian?
No, is that a paddle?
Gamma's like
Is that a
softball.
paddle?
No,
Oh, it's
the
a ball.
ball.
No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about for like training.
I think so. Yeah, it's like a little.
Like kids play with it because it doesn't go. It can't, it's like a
I don't know. Yeah,
like a plastic golf
it's
ball.
like a
Can't go
quiet
too
one.
far.
Yeah. It's just a quiet one.
I think
I
I've
don't
seen
remember
that.
it's just-
Yeah, like a foam. It's like a foam
yeah.
ball. Yep.
They had them knocking around the proton.
They used to do it in
headquarters.
tennis. Tennis had it. Remember how tennis, like you warm up with a ball that you can swing as hard as you can, but it goes
The
nowhere?
soft foam ball.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's for kids generally.
they have that for Gamma
Okay.
pickleball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the same thing, actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see about that. So mixed match 40-38. What are we talking about there?
Tyson. You didn't see that?
No.
Tyson and Paris beat
Oh, the longest. Like,
CJ Klinger and Jackie Kawamoto 40-38.
what a crazy amount of points.
I mean,
You needed a Cliff Bar to watch that thing.
yeah, two of them.
I would have needed the clip boy. Yeah, I'm getting tired just thinking about it.
Hopefully. I don't know what that is. Doesn't look very good.
It is a clip bar.
Yeah, it is.
White
but what
chocolate
flavor?
macadamia nut.
Oh, that's very good. Great flavor. It was like a cinnamon thing. But yeah, no, like crazy match. And there were, I mean, I'm happy the freeze is back because there's so much more drama. The matches are so much closer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just better. It's just
Sweet.
more interesting.
agreed.
It is kind of wild to get to that level of. I mean,
I wonder how long that one alone took. It must have been 50 minutes.
Yeah.
that One
Probably.
singular match.
that's a long time for pro pickleball.
Yes.
Somebody in the
Especially
notes will
MLP
probably tell us in the
Yeah.
comments of the YouTube will tell us how long that match was.
So you're saying that you like the scoring system that they had this mid.
Yeah, the
Season
first
Grand
event of the
Rapids,
year,
yeah.
they took away the freeze. It was just a straight up to 25.
Yep.
And yeah, like it's the fairest option, but it did really kind of lose the drama. It lost the comebacks. It lost those like super heightened drama moments. And with the freeze, it feels back.
Yeah.
It feels like there's just more tension. And you're 2018, you're not safe. Or sorry, 24-18, it's not safe.
Yeah.
You better win that first point on your serve because fuck, here they come. It's gonna get close.
Yep.
So those moments become heightened, and you miss 2/3, and those might be the only chances you had from a 6-point lead. So it's really the right way to go.
Yeah. So you no suggested changes from you. You're pretty happy with.
I think based on all the things that we have tried, this is the right way. The only thing that I think they still could do that would be, in theory, more fair, is once one team gets to 24, both teams freeze. So the other team can still come back, but they have to come back winning points on their serve, not just on your serve as well.
Got it.
That would be the only alteration I think that makes it all,
Do you like the Dream Breaker only to 21?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do you think? You think this is the right way to go?
Yes.
Nice.
It's perfect. It was perfect.
What do you think?
No one can argue that this isn't the greatest format in pickleball.
But you don't think for gambling purposes, like if both teams froze, once one team got to 24, that would be a better option to say like a 5-point spread, a 6-point spread, as opposed to every game being between 2 and 3 points on average?
Well, if it only makes a difference at 24, it's going to always still be 2.
No, because now you have to win the point on your serve. So you're going to come back much, much slower. If you come back, you're going to have to win 6 points on your serve.
Oh, once one person gets to 24, then both teams have to win on their serve.
No, at 18.
I want to keep it like it is.
Okay.
But you're right. It's better for gambling, but not for the drama.
I suppose like from Travis's scenario, it's like the race to get like the game point or whatever the freeze point is. It gives you an advantage that carries through to the rest of the game.
It gives you more incentive.
Yeah. Otherwise,
it's more. I think it's a more fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so like that.
I agree with that. It's definitely more fair.
Yeah, they were trying to make it more fair by taking it away at all. This is how I think you can kind of do both.
Right.
But I get it.
It's a fusion between it. Yeah.
Who knows if we'll ever go to that? But for the moment, this is working well. I think when gambling gets into play, it might have to be re-looked at. But it's a great format.
Yeah, it is. Very cool. So. MLP upgrades, team strategies. Did we already talk?
Yeah, I was
we
kind of
covered
referencing that. Like some teams are really trying to win all 4 matches, and it seems like other teams, like the Brooklyn Aces, are another great example. I think Lane and Lena did not win a women's doubles match, and Lane and De La Rosa won 1 mixed match. So you have a player that went 1-5 total with Lane. But who's very good in singles and obviously going to improve in doubles and mixed. She's relatively new, but Pablo was dominant. They have a great men's doubles team. Pablo's very good in mixed, so he's winning mixed. If they win any of the other ones, they win outright, and if they don't, they're very, very good in a Dream Breaker.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how these strategies are coming into play.
Yeah. So get 2 very dominant men and get 2 women that are very good at singles.
Yes. And look, it could backfire. There's no doubt. Like we've seen it backfire.
Yeah.
But it's just it's interesting to me the way people are drafting.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the teams that are winning, I should say, the way that they're constructed.
Yeah. What do you think? You think you're happy with the strategy of drafting?
We've tried both.
Yeah.
If you remember the Smash from last year, we kind of went with the singles strategy in a way.
Right. Because
we had Colin Schick, we have Dominic Schaefer.
Yeah.
We had people that felt like it was a good singles team.
Yeah.
And that didn't work for us. So,
but our men underperformed so drastically.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Like the men, when you say you have dominant, like it can't even be a question. They have to be surefires.
Yeah.
Like 80% victors.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a big part of that is getting like a top player.
Getting a top player, but also having that top player play with someone they're very used to playing with. I mean, like Manthao and Lang, like they've been playing APPs together for a while leading up to this. So that's
they're probably the most formidable men's pairing.
Yeah. So I guess that might be part of it.
There's so much to it, and I think there's so many ways to win.
Yep.
And the margins are so close that a team that seems like it's the worst can be the best the next week.
I mean, the Hustlers, for instance, in Atlanta did not perform well, and then they never lost in DC.
Yeah.
I think they won every match again in there in a Dream Breaker. So it is. The margins are very small, and then you have to have players.
I mean, we've been to 5 Dream Breakers and haven't won one of them.
But
but imagine if we won 5 Dream Breakers, what people would think of our team.
Yeah.
Well, of course, but our team isn't built to win Dream Breakers.
Right. But I'm just saying that's how close it is. We're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do we got next? In terms of,
We have a while till September. We're missing the next 2 MLP events, and then
because you got
September's our next one.
buys.
Not buys.
just-
They're just not
we're
in our
not-
region.
Yeah, there's not our regional events. but
Oh, okay, yeah.
We got-
Yeah,
Next
okay.
one's in Salt Lake City, and then
Okay.
there's one,
Kansas City.
and then Kansas City.
No, we're neither of those.
Our next one, I think, is New York.
Yeah, ours is
Yeah.
New
And
York.
now it's Manhattan, is what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be
It's
a City
Central
Pickle
Park.
That's gonna be cool.
City Pickle will
Very.
be amazing.
Come
I
on.
might have
That'd be the
to
coolest venue
come
in the
to
history of
see that
pickle.
one.
What?
I might have to come. When is that? September?
September
I
20th,
think
I want to
it's
say.
right around Electric Zoo. So it's
Mark
You
your
know, I've got
calendar.
already be
tickets for
there.
that,
He was already
you know.
there.
You probably already have a ticket.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then there's one in Orlando too. That one's gonna be fun for the Smash, I think, right?
That's a playoff. I'm
Is
pretty
it?
sure.
Yeah, I'm not
I think
sure.
we have to qualify for that. so
Wow,
we got
man.
some
You
work
guys
ahead of
better
us.
do that.
We're gonna get it going. I told you in the last one, like you have normal Travi again. Normal again.
All
I
right. So
won't be losing the.
what about PPAs though for you, Trav? What's coming up?
So there is Kansas City is the next one,
Yep.
beginning of August, and then there is Tennessee, basically back-to-back weekends. I'm happy because I get to play.
Where's
with
the
Zane.
Tennessee?
Bristol.
Ooh.
Where is
Bristol,
that?
Tennessee. Fuck if I know.
Oh, that's where they
know.
race the NASCARs?
Dude, don't ask me.
I've heard the name Bristol, I think, in NASCAR racing.
Okay.
But I got Zane and Jade for both,
Nice.
so it'll be
yeah.
it'll be a nice weekend where like even if we don't play our best the first week, we can obviously improve and discuss and collaborate on what to get better
Yeah.
on the next week. So that's
Nice.
always nice when you have some.
Oh, you
cohesion.
got back-to-back Zane. I
back-to-back Zane,
love
back-to-back
that.
Jade.
That's
Love
dope.
that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good. Get some
Makes a
consistency
huge
going.
difference. When
You
get,
played
like,
2 events with Zane already?
I played 3.
3?
I mean,
Okay,
we just got
nice.
better at every one.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
the first one we were shit. Second one we were like, all right, we're pretty
Third
good.
one, there was
And
a
then third one
Thorogun
was, like,
incident. Yeah.
The third
Yeah.
one was one where he fell over and was our best.
Yeah. That's funny. You want to play any minor leagues with me, Graham? I'll have to see.
Graham canceled on
You
me for a
want-
Moneyball this weekend. I was pretty pissed.
He
Well,
canceled?
Guess what? You're welcome. It got rained out. They all split the money. We'd have drove all the way over there, played 2 or 3 matches, and then split the money. Split
I
our
would've
30
loved it.
bucks.
I wasn't
10
going for
different
money.
ways.
I was going for your wonderful company.
All right.
I do. Graham, I play for your wonderful company. People ask me, and I say, no, I'm sorry. I only play these things with Graham. And you don't do the same, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm used to that. I'm used to being second fiddle.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then, I really needed a sweat because I got pretty sauced on Saturday night. And, and
Oh.
I flew in red eye or fucking 5 a.m., same shit. And I get a text right when I arrived at St. Pete Airport. I'm feeling a little tired today. I haven't had any time off. I'm not going to play it. It was like,
Well, I made the right decision,
I
luckily.
slept till 4 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Slept till 4 p.m.
That's
But it would have been
insane.
better for me to get the sweat.
You think so?
Yes.
And it got rained out, and it's a long drive. It was like over an hour to get there.
that
So
is- that
I
is
made the
very
right
long.
decision.
Yeah. that is very
Wow.
long.
We got lucky.
That's crazy.
Fair enough. Well, soon enough. We got a couple weekends now where hopefully we can find a money ball.
Okay, we'll find one.
Good.
Yeah.
Everyone
Not too-
loves when we play them
Not
around
too
here.
far away, please.
No one gives me grief at all.
Do they really?
Everyone.
Do they really?
You play.
Oh, for sure. They'll probably be
Oh,
like,
it's
fuck you guys
nonstop.
taking all this money.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I want to play. I get excluded from events because, that's not fair. Like
It's
I see these
cool.
events going on at St. Pete Athletic Club or Racket Club, and I'm like, where was my invite? Oh, well, we don't invite you. It's like, thanks, dicks.
Have to play left-handed.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'll come up with something. I can play like 2 hands on both sides. Left-handed, I'd suck.
Yeah. There you go. you really would suck left-handed? You
No,
think?
Yeah.
What do we say? You're a 4-0 left-handed?
No, he's better than that.
No, I think that's about right. I think 4
4-0 to
4 is
4-5
fine.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
4
depends on your opponent.
But these guys are 5'5", 6'0".
Yeah,
They're
they're
not
gonna
like
kick
they're not
my
like
ass.
slackers.
Yeah,
these
yeah,
money
yeah,
I want
balls.
to start practicing lefty just to like be included in events around here.
Yeah, there you go.
Tired of being on the outskirts. As someone told me today, I exclude them.
Maybe you should only play with like a Z5 paddle or something like that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Or
pretty
wood.
funny.
Wood.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play with a wood paddle.
There you go.
Questions from the suckers?
Questions from the suckers. I'll accept them all the time. I just forget to post on Instagram with it,
Sounds
but I'll
right.
try and be better at that.
Awesome.
So if you have questions, let us
I
know.
just have the Cliff Bar, so his brain stays sharp. He's on it right now. He had the
I'm
Clif
on
Bar
it.
Last time, he forgot. He used to leave here.
We don't even know if these cameras are on or anything's charged as a SIM card in the cameras.
Yeah. This
Don't,
is
do
just
that. Don't
50-50.
give him that
Yeah,
wondery. That's not nice.
If you had a trash talking pickleball match, who would you team up with and who
Brandon
would
French.
you play against?
Brandon French.
All right. And then
Who
who
I
would you play against?
I like shit talking Hayden the most. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
I actually did the same thing to Wyatt. I gave
Wyatt.
him
I was going to say
I gave
Wyatt.
him the short one.
And they
Bring
both
it
take
back.
it well. Yeah.
Oh, they're both hysterical. Wyatt literally came up 2 minutes after me. Like, I love that shit. Keep bringing that. Like,
Yeah.
Nice.
I like the fact That was
And
fun.
Wyatt was cheering you on in your first match against the Black Bears. He's a big fan of yours.
I'm a big fan of Wyatt too. He's a very, very nice kid. I think he goes about his business quietly. He's improving. He's obviously got a win over the Johns. No qualms there. But yeah, I do love shit talking Hayden.
Nice. Do you have any answer to that?
Favorite shit talkers?
Like who you would play? Who'd like to play a match?
I'll get in
with?
trouble for this, but Matt Wright, I think, is pretty funny. Hayden's great.
Yep. What about doesn't Lang? No, who was the other guy that had a really good shit talking? I don't remember now. We talked about this a while ago, but oh well.
What's more important to me is the person that can take the shit talking. There's just some people that they know how to take it and they're easy to shit talk and they're fun.
Yeah.
It's the people that take it personally and then you got to go quiet.
Yeah.
Not a fun match.
Right.
Thanks, Thirsty Koi Fish, for that question.
Thank you. I like that.
Thirsty Koi Fish. That sounds like a fan of ours.
Someone asked, are non-carbon fiber proton paddle is going to be illegal in the next 18 months?
That is weird because I've heard that a couple times now.
I have no idea. I couldn't answer that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think I've heard the rumor, but
I haven't heard that. But I mean,
who knows? I mean, at this point,
what's moving forward?
Yeah, someone else asked me that recently. Like they got a temporary approval, but it's going away. Which in 18 months, what does it matter? They're gonna have new technology by then.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Yeah,
but somebody else mentioned that same thing. Like they got like a temporary approval. It's good for a while.
If any of us knew anything about the testing protocol, then we would maybe.
Yeah, but it's ever changing also. So
yeah.
And then Heather asked, will Colin Johns drop off the pickleball scene when Ben gets a new men's partner?
No. But he's sticking around for a while. I mean, he's still a very, very formidable right side player. I think maybe he's even conscious that he has to add a little bit more offense, and he'll I guarantee you he'll try. Like he fucking works his ass off. The guy hits a lot of pickleballs, so he's not just gonna like fade quietly into the night. He's gonna try everything to improve. And I think if which I really don't think will happen, if he and Ben ever broke up, it's not like there wouldn't be plenty of people looking for his services.
Yeah. People are gonna want Colin on the right side in men's for sure.
Final question. This is on behalf of St. Pete community. What's going on with St. Pete Athletic?
I can finally talk a little bit, right?
Great.
We had we started membership pre-sales.
Yep.
We had public announcements.
Yep.
And we've got members, way more members than expected. So I don't know. We've been pre-selling for about a week now, and we're already over half capacity.
Nice.
So. Jimmy, if you want a membership, I know we're
Don't call him that individual.
I know we're ripping off our investors. If you want a membership, I suggest you get it the next week or so because we're about sold out. Don't wait any longer. I saw him hit a couple balls the other day. Oof.
No comment.
We're still waiting for that battle of the podcasts.
I know that would be cool
matchup.
with the battle of the podcasts. But I'll tell you, the one we could struggle with would be Thomas and Zane. Thomas is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's new
Thomas
information because you actually saw
Thomas
him.
and Zane would be tough.
Yeah.
And Zane's also like capable of taking the whole court.
Yeah. Maybe if Graham ties his shoelaces, then
he's tying him up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna tie right now.
We're gonna get him some different shoes, maybe some K-Swiss ones.
Well, what's wrong with these? They're too heavy.
Just cheap. They look really, really, really shitty and cheap.
Well, they were.
Exactly. That's why they look that way.
I don't think expensive shoes make a difference.
They certainly do.
What do they do?
They're just like more stable, maybe a little bit lighter.
I do need. These are heavy. They feel like they're waterlogged.
He literally proves everything.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what's wrong with these?
Yeah.
They look shitty and cheap.
They're really hurting my feet.
No, they feel great.
Oh, really?
They're like the cat. They're like the cat. They're like the Cadillac of tennis shoes, but they're heavy. You know, like a Cadillac's heavy. Like if he's got in an accident, we'd be fine.
So they're tanks.
They're the sedan.
They're the sedan
They're the
with the real soft shocks.
Mercedes S500 just cruising along.
Yes, that's exactly what these shoes
straight
are.
Line, they're beautiful.
Maybe you could sell those shoes to Travis and tell them that they've only had a couple miles on them.
I like my K-Swisses. Shout out to K-Swiss. Thank you for sending me shoes. You guys are wonderful.
There you go. Those actually do look nice shoes.
They're fucking great. This is the new version of the Hypercourt. I'd never played with these ones. They're very nice.
What size shoe are
Probably
you?
$150.
Yeah, they are.
Would you set what size shoe are you?
11.
Could fit into an 11.
What are you? 9?
I could be an 11.
I could be a 14. I'm not though.
I'm a size 10 and a half.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I got some shoes for you, but they're head. They're 11s,
like
but they're too small for me for whatever reason.
That's okay.
Okay. I got you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
All right. So let's see. last thing I've got is
Eat a fucking
I'm almost done. It took me the whole podcast to eat this thing. Mari Humbug played left with Zane. You know anything
Yeah.
about why that was?
Because she's so much more comfortable there.
Really?
She does not like the right. And Zane is one of the few players, and I said this, I think Zane's better on the right. He's one of the few players that can somewhat dominate from the right.
Yeah.
And he played basically the middle of the court, but if they left the ball hanging, she has a great flick backhand, and it really disrupted the strategy for the Johnsons. And they fucking played great.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I guess that's the thing. Like you give people different looks,
Of
and
course.
they're just not practiced
Yeah,
that
the
way.
pattern changes, and who you try to avoid changes. It's disrupting.
Yeah, that's smart. It's kind of wild that she's so uncomfortable on the right that even like, did she not play mixed on the right generally? I guess. I mean,
I don't know. I've never really watched her play
Yeah.
mixed.
that's wild. And she plays on the right with Anna Lee though. Or did no? Anna Lee played on the right.
Yeah, I think she did. I think she moved over too.
Yeah,
I think they all just were
Wow.
like, "Hey, you're much better there. I don't care." And credit to both of them for just being like,
yeah,
"I don't have an ego.
yeah.
Let's just play.
awesome.
I want to win."
Yeah, congrats, Mari. Wow, that's cool. Sweet. All right, that's all we got.
That's
Thanks,
a lot.
suckers. It
Yeah,
was
it's a good recap. I went.
Good recap. Tennis fucking sucks. Maybe back of the rack one day. But
And
for
shout
now,
out to Beer City. You guys are
yeah,
awesome.
you guys
Everyone
did
there.
an incredible job. Thank you for everybody for all your efforts. The volunteers. Tom
Fans.
Miller was the dude that picked me up. Couldn't have been cooler. Actually wrote me thanking me to come. Gave a lesson to little Luther, a little stud. Had a
The
great fucking
DeVos
time.
family
Yeah.
that runs that town.
Yep. Well, they own Amway, and that's how we apparently got those rooms. And it was next level. You guys did a great job.
Sweet.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Catch
Later.
you next week. Bye.